Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Cruising Show. You are tuned in to Ujima 98 FM. I am Max. We have with me
Presto
and
Daboothe.
And we have our very, very special guest. We have Blacksmith.
Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, man? How you doing?
How are you, man? Are you okay?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me, man.
Honestly, I've been very excited to get you on. You know, it's kind of crazy. I listened to your songs for a couple months. I did not know you're Bristolian.
Yeah, man. Born and bred.
It just like clicked in my head one day that because you did the K-Star collab that you might
with Kanas.
That you might be like Bristolian. And I looked you up and I was like, oh wait.
I mean, me and Kanas have done stuff for years, man. But yeah, Bristol born and bred.
Yeah, I had no. Whereabouts from Bristol are you from?
Sea Mills originally.
Oh, okay.
I've lived all over, like Bedminster, Filton, all over the place.
And you're Ujima family.
Man. Yeah, me and Carasel used to do Ambush the Airwaves when Ujima was down in St. Paul's.
Yeah.
And then that show still goes on now with Jake Platinum. He does that every Thursday. So yeah, man, bit of history with Ujima, definitely.
What do you think of the new studios?
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's a nice little spacious setup. Like, I was down there last week for Crazy Show, the Word Life thing.
Oh yeah, good show.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, I like it. It's good progression, isn't it?
I know. We're on the up.
Well, if you've been living under a rock, you wouldn't know that Blacksmith dropped an absolute incredible tune that I know for a fact Presto is a massive fan of.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, man. Big ups.
Even if you are living under a rock,
you would probably know it.
Still like it.
I think you've been wondering for weeks whether there's a sample.
Oh, I was trying to figure out the actual main sample of the song.
I keep that under wraps.
Oh, okay.
But there is a sample in there, but I brought in like live musicians on the top as well. I added some horns.
Oh, right.
Keys.
Oh, so you produced the track?
I produced it. Yeah, I produced it. I'm a producer as well as an MC. Yeah.
Wow. Fair enough. Honestly, like that, it's such a high quality instrumental.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
But so what my big question about this song is, how did it feel to make a song with the message of peace? Like, is it something you've wanted to do for years?
Well, I mean, obviously, it was the beat itself was dictated by the sample to a degree originally. But obviously, it's been a long journey putting that song together because, like I said, it's a big collaboration song and it's got 4 other artists.
Yeah, it's massive.
Obviously, Carasel's from Bristol. Knytro is an MC that I worked with up in London. We did some stuff at Chasing Status' studios a few years ago. So we've worked on like 2 albums together, but that's unreleased at the moment. But he's like back and forth from New York to London a lot. So obviously, he's not in the country very often. And
are you planning a release for those?
Well, at some point, at some point. But yeah, so like Knytro's back and forth from New York. Obviously, we've got Rakaa from Dilated Peoples who lives out in LA. Marc 7 from Jurassic 5 who lives in LA. So bringing all those people together on a song in itself is a difficult thing, but then to actually get a video off the back of it as well.
Oh wow,
it's harder. Do you know what I mean? But we made it happen. You know, it took a lot of work though.
How did it actually come through then? Like, how did it
the collaboration?
Yeah, as in like the video. Like, how did you find?
So we had the song. I was sat on the song for about 3 years.
Wow.
So I'd written a verse for it. I sent it to Knytro, he wrote a verse for it. Sent it to Carasel, he wrote a verse. Sent it to Marc 7, he wrote a verse. Then I did a show with Dilated Peoples in Bristol, and then I sent it to Rakaa. I didn't hear anything for like 6 months, and then out of the blue I get an email saying he's heard it, he likes it, he's going to do a verse for it. So I was like, cool. So we had this tune at this point, but obviously I'm sat on it like, what am I going to do? How are we going to execute a visual for it? Because obviously, like I say, all these people are all around the world. So we were doing an animated video at first, but then that just wasn't going the way I kind of envisaged it. And then Knytro was back in the country last year in like September, so he came to Bristol, we filmed him, and I was like, right, we'll film him and we'll figure out the rest and just see what we can do. Cool. So we filmed him, and then I was like, you know what, let's just do it, let's just take a gamble, because Rakaa and Marc both live out in LA, let's fly out to LA, try and make some other things happen out there while we're out there. And that's what we did. And so I did a show at the Jazz Cafe like a week before in London, before I went out to LA, with a guy called Evidence, who's also part of Dilated Peoples. So we went out to LA, we filmed the video with Rakaa and Marc, and then the last day I was there, Evidence phoned me as well, and I ended up going to his studio and working on some music with him while I was out there. So like I say, it took a gamble to go out there, but it paid off, and sometimes you just got to do those things. And then we came back and then filmed Carasel, and then reached out to, if you've seen the video, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but in the video, in the chorus sections, there's lots of people throwing up peace signs.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of people that we know, we've got lots of people that have sent us clips through social media, but we've also got guys like Ramesh Ranganathan, like big comedian.
Oh wow.
He's in there, JME, DJ MK, who's like Dizzy Rascal's DJ. There's loads of people that we reach out to and stuff. So it's like I say, it's a
huge
collaboration project in terms of the visual as well. Do you know what I mean?
You can see why it took 3 years to come through. Like, such a massive tune event.
When that, I mean, like I say, I was sat on it for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years, but yeah, it's one of the video in terms of starting the video. We started it in like September November. Then we put it to the side while we had figured out what our next steps were. But in terms of editing and stuff, it's probably taken about 3 months from the final part of filming.
Wow.
Yeah. I think we got 2 questions from.
Yeah, I was just going to say, working with people like from Dilated Peoples and Jurassic 5, have they always been people that you've listened to? And then,
man.
And then gone into work because they're big names.
Well,
and
the first gig I ever went to in Bristol was Jurassic 5 at the Academy.
Wow.
As a fan, right? As a fan. And now, that was when I was like 14, 15, was in school. And then, like, fast forward, I ended up supporting Jurassic 5. They split up and then they got back together. So they split up. They did Coachella out in America. Then they did like a reunion tour over here. And in that interim, I'd produced some songs for Marc 7, one of the MCs. Wow. So they were doing a comeback tour and he got us the support slot opening up for them on the tour when they came to Bristol. So obviously I supported them. So I've worked with those guys in different aspects before. But yeah, like I say, I grew up listening to Jurassic 5 and Dilated Peoples. And like they had a tune with Kanye West back in the day when I was in school, when I was 15, 16, this way, I was like, man, buying the vinyl in HMV and just playing it all the time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And to hear their response to your music as well.
It's mad, bruv. It's mad. But I had this conversation the other week and it's like, whatever happens, you know, we all do music because we love it, right? And we're passionate about it. But like, I've managed to make with this song, but also like this album that I've just recently finished. Like, I've managed to work with a lot of people that I grew up listening to and was always very inspired by. So no matter what else I ever do musically, with some of these things, I can step away and be like, I've managed to actually
look at what you've achieved.
I've made some dreams personally come true. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's mad. Sometimes I kind of watch the video and I do sort of pinch myself because it's like,
round of applause.
That's like making a dream come true.
100%, bruv.
That's crazy.
But I'm trying to get that kind of across to people as well. Like, you know, I made this beat I started making it in my flat like a couple of years ago, and obviously I've added stuff to it. But you know, I made that happen, and anyone can make that happen to a degree. You've just got to like figure it out. Like, figure out how the world's a lot smaller than you think it is in 2019.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like, you think all those people out there like inspiring musicians and stuff, and like you're literally like evidence that hey, that hard work can pay off.
100%. But anyone can do it. You just got to like figure out what's the objective and how are you going to go about it. And you've got to take a gamble and a risk at the same time, because opportunities aren't just going to present themselves to you. No. You've got to go out and actually work for them and try and make them happen.
You clearly have. You clearly like, 100%, you're a workaholic.
100%. but like, you know, it takes a process sometimes, because sometimes we all do things like, oh man, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? And you sit back on your laurels a little bit, and sometimes expectation is the thing where you think, for whatever reason, something should be happening. But sometimes you've got to bite the bullet, swallow your pride a little bit, and actually figure out how to take it to that next point, you know?
Daboothe, you have a question?
So I think this question has already been answered already, but I'm going to answer it already. Might as well. So it took 3 years to try and make this song. So obviously you had like, your original plan on how you thought the song was going to go. Did it live to the expectations? Did it beat your expectations?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Like I say, having the song was one thing, but like I said, I never thought we'd do a video for it. I never envisaged myself going to LA to film a video for it at all, you know. But we did. And like I said, it was one of the things where I was sat on the song for so long, I didn't even know what to do with it at one point. And big ups to Carasel, because he was always in my ear like, we need to release it. But I was like, yeah, we need to release it, but we need to release it properly with like the video. And but again, in my head I was like, are we going to do a video? And that's when I got to the point I was like, if we're going to do it, we've got to do it. We've got to make it happen.
And can I ask, are you signed or?
No, independent. So we've got our own label in Bristol, AFT Records and AFT Raps. That song has come out from. AFT Records is the drum and bass side of things. AFT Raps is the hip hop side of things. So pieces come out on our own label independently, all self-funded by ourselves. But you know, it's one of those things, you know, unless you're fortunate, there aren't too many major record labels knocking around Bristol, and that's why we're trying to get the sound from outside of Bristol and take it to other places. You know, since releasing this song, it's been getting some airplay up in London, up in Kiss on One Extra.
Yeah, I see you've been so busy on like the radio.
Yeah,
waves,
man,
like,
I had like 2 interviews up in London on like last Monday, and I was down here on the Tuesday. I've got like a few more interviews lined up in London in the next couple of weeks. Like we got Glastonbury this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you performing on Glastonbury? Were you performing on stage?
Yeah. So we got an AFT Records like drum and bass takeover in Silver Haze on Saturday. I'm playing like what's it called, Babylon. Are you going to test me now? I'm playing on a stage called Babylon something on the Sunday at 5 o'clock, and then another one at 8:30. I've got it all in my phone.
Everyone has to check out. I'm really sorry.
It's all on the itinerary, man. If you check your Glastonbury apps and all that good stuff, type in Blacksmith, you'll find all the stage information.
Awesome, lovely. Well, we're going to quickly go into some adverts, but we'll be right back for a Blacksmith on the spot. Going to be doing a freestyle for us. Going to be amazing. Right, we'll see you all in a second. So,
keeping the music alive. Bristol's urban station, Ujima 98 FM.
Love One, Love All Promotions present Jamaica's 57th Independence Anniversary, Saturday 10th of August at Birmingham's O2 Academy, featuring live on stage.